Mabuhay everyone! Today, we're diving into a really interesting part of history, Articles 9 to 13 of the treaty that ended the Spanish-American War. These articles might sound a bit technical at first, but they actually tell us a lot about how Spanish and the United States handled the transfer of power, especially in territories like the Philippines, Cuba, and Puerto Rico. So, let's break it down in a simple and engaging way. Article 9 mainly talks about the rights of Spanish citizens who were living in the territory Spain gave up. Basically, they had two choices. They could stay or leave. If they stayed, they could still keep or sell their property, and they could continue their business or professions under the same laws that applied to other foreigners. Now, here's the interesting part. They had 1 year to decide if they wanted to keep being Spanish citizens. To do that, they had to make an official declaration before a court. If they didn't, then automatically they'd be considered citizens of the new ruling country, like the United States. And for the native inhabitants, meaning Filipinos, Puerto Ricans, and the Cubans, their civil and political rights weren't decided right away. Instead, the U.S. Congress will determine those later on. So, this part of the treaty left a lot of important questions for the Americans to figure out in the future. Next up is Article 10, which is short but powerful. It guarantees freedom of religion for everyone in those territories. That means people could continue practicing their faith freely, which was really important, especially for the places like the Philippines, where Catholicism was deeply rooted. Then there's Article 11, which focuses on law and justice. Spaniards who stayed in these territories would now be subjected to the local courts and laws, both civil and criminal, but at the same time, they had the right to appear in the court and be treated equally, just like the locals. So, it was kind of a way to ensure fairness under the new government. Article 12 deals with something a bit more technical: ongoing court cases during the transfer of power. Here's what it says in a simple terms. If a case was already decided before the treaty, that decision would stay valid. If it was still ongoing, it would continue in the same court or its replacement. And if a case was already being handled by the Spain Supreme Court, it would continue there until a final decision. But the execution of that judgment would be done by the local authorities. So basically, it was a way to keep things organized and avoid chaos in the justice systems during the transition. Finally, Article 13 protects intellectual property rights, like copyrights and patents. Spaniards who owned these rights in the ceded territories would continue to have them recognized. Plus, Spanish scientific, literary, and artistic works could still enter those territories duty-free for 10 years, as long as they weren't against public order. This part really shows that even after political separation, both sides wanted to maintain respect for art, culture, and innovation. So overall, Articles 9 to 13 were about protection, fairness, and continuity. They ensured that during a huge political change, people's property, religions, and rights were still respected. It also laid the groundwork for how these territories, especially the Philippines, would transition from Spanish to American rule. And that's it for today's video. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more history content like this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!